Well, what I want to get into today with yourself, Joe, is to really talk about brands and how they work with the media and how that really fits into their marketing mix. I want to know, like, how does the media world, the golf media world, get driven by brands? How does the media make their money? What are their priorities? All of these type of things I'd like to get into. So to really kind of set the tone and get into the whole framing of this, when brands are thinking about their marketing mix, why should they even work with the media in the first place?
Well, it's simple, isn't it? They've got to get the message out there, and utilizing media outlets, you're getting your message out there in a perceived neutral way. Obviously, brands are going to shout about their product and tell you what it does, but if someone's telling you how great they are, it has less of an impact than if a third party, excuse me, if a third party is passing on that information. And I think it's all about sources, isn't it? So we pride ourselves at Golf Monthly on very much independent testing. So we've got experts in each category. So I look after drivers and irons in particular. We've got Sam Diath out there currently outside hitting some balls, who's
Great.
fantastic player, ex-pro, +4 handicapper, looking on different things. So I think you're going to get onto it a little bit because you did pre-warn me about
I'd never do such a thing.
what kind of influence the brands have on you. But again, I can only speak for us at Golf Monthly. We're very careful about keeping our credibility to make sure our message is well received, because, I mean, I'm not naming any names. I can't even think of any off the top of my head, but there's brands or media outlets rather that maybe seem a little bit more affected or influenced by certain brands and align themselves with certain brands. And I've always felt that eats away at the credibility of the message you're trying to put out as a media outlet. But also, you've got to be realistic from a media point of view. We have commercial obligations to fill, but we try and keep those very, very separate. There's very clear editorial stuff that we put out that is purely our opinion, independent reviews, and things like that. But then we do CS projects. We have advertorials that people can pay for, but we're very careful to separate that content and make it very clear. And we have to, the guidelines insist that we have to show that this is a paid for, this is a partnered piece of content. This is our editorial opinion. So yeah, we're very careful about it. But yeah, from a brand point of view, for me, without a marketing degree or anything like that, it just feels like it's the impact of a third party talking about
Another
your
voice.
Product, another voice. Yeah, because
an independent voice, ultimately.
Absolutely.
I suppose the challenge comes in from a brand's perspective is if they somebody opens up the magazine, and on the left-hand side is a very flash advert about this latest brand product, and on the right-hand side is a journalist or a writer basically criticizing that product. What I will say, though, and I think I'm being quite broad by saying this, is there's not really that many bad products out there. Like, there's some that are are well suited for certain needs, and others that are not. But nobody really makes a really, really bad product. And I'm singling out golf clubs here more than rangefinders or any other devices out in the market, which there are a few dodgy ones of those. But
there are, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that in some ways it makes our job a little bit more difficult as testers, because it's not that stuff's getting samey. It's just that you're having to be very granular to pick out the points that maybe you don't like, maybe you would change. But yeah, moreover, you're trying to, at the back of my mind, in all of these reviews I'm doing, I might not like a product for me. So there's plenty of product that I'll try this launch season. We're getting into silly season now, that I will sit down and go, looks a bit cumbersome for me. Don't like the way this face sits, spins like mad, whatever in driver. But I've got to put my head on it. Well, not everyone's me. Not everyone's 120 mile an hour club at speed. A lot of people, and don't want to see that sort of tour preferred squat profile. So as a tester of equipment, you just got to put yourself in the mindset of who's going to receive that, and then you can create very balanced reviews in terms of, look, okay, it's not for me, but it wasn't intended for me. If you're someone who struggles with this persistent strike, if you struggle with launch, if you need more confidence, you've got to put it in the right place. And I think people, again, I'm getting away from brand here, but I'm talking just from my perspective, because you probably have to get a brand. You could go and drag
Go
some
grab a
brand
few
people
now,
in
yeah.
now, but from a media point of view, it's getting that balance right. And I think if you don't have that balance, if you don't criticize, if you don't nitpick, if you don't find some stuff that you don't like about the product, well, who's going to read your stuff anyway? Because
Yeah,
if it's just lip service, if it's just another fantastic
pointless.
driver from so and so, absolutely top drawer, 5 stars, everything, wouldn't change a thing. Like that's impactful if that's in amongst, didn't like this one,
Yeah.
that wasn't so good. That 5-star review where you do say all that stuff becomes very impactful, so long as you're honest about everything. And I think maybe it's old fashioned, but yeah, honesty, it can be difficult because we work quite closely with a lot of brands. And, you know, I could give you an example of several nice trips I've been on with various brands over the past 12 months where they fly you out to lovely places, put you up, feed you lovely food, and all of those things. And that's all part of the game. They want you to see the products that they've got coming out. They want to look after you, and they want to present all that stuff in the most aspirational setting, I guess.